Hi friends! We're back with book reviews! Yay! I'm sorry for being gone as long as I was. Life got crazy. If you want the full entire update video that's it's a little over a half hour long, it's linked up here somewhere for you. Go watch that. That'll fill you in on what's been going on. You may be like, Trula, what happened to the book review chair? The book review chair is in existence still. She's just not able to sit where she normally is because the old tree is up. Because I have to take holiday photos, and I was supposed to do that as filming this video today, but didn't feel up to it. Didn't want to put a full face on. All that is, again, explained in the updates video. Go watch it. As of filming this, I did not want to do it. By now, the holiday photos have been taken, cards have been addressed, put in the mail, so on and so forth. But today's video, as you saw by the title, is all about Babel, an arcane history, because I keep forgetting that it has a subtitle. We're going to dive into how I felt on this, but as always, first and foremost, we start with our little back of the book blurb that's not on the back of the book. 1828. Robin Swift, orphaned by cholera in Canton, is brought to London by the mysterious Professor Lowell. There, Robin trains for years in Latin, ancient Greek, and Chinese, all in preparation for the day he'll enroll in Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, also known as Babel. The tower and its students are the world's center for translation and, more importantly, magic silverworking, the art of manifesting the meaning lost in translation using enchanted silver bars, has made the British unparalleled in power, as the arcane craft serves the Empire's quest for colonization. For Robin, Oxford is a utopia dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge. But knowledge obeys power, and as a Chinese boy raised in Britain, he realizes serving Babel means betraying his motherland. As his studies progress, Robin finds himself caught between Babel and the shadowy Hermes Society, an organization dedicated to stopping imperial expansion. When Britain pursues an unjust war with China over silver and opium, Robin must decide. Can powerful institutions be changed from within, or does revolution always require violence? Let's sit with that for a second. Now, I gave this book a 4-star rating. The 1 star was taken off for how the book was written. This book is written like a dissertation. There are footnotes in this book that, again, as it reading like a dissertation, as it being written as a dissertation in a way, because that's the vibe I got before I watched some interviews. The writing of it being in dissertation style was intentional by the author. That I have heard in interviews. My thought process is that this is a dissertation by one of the characters in the book. But the dissertation style, the footnotes, really pulled me from the story a lot. I prefer to read and get things through context clues, so that I'm not pulled completely out of the world. For me, this was hard to stay in world while reading. I'd get sucked in, and then all of a sudden a footnote pops up, and then it's like, oh, well, I need to pause here and go to the footnote and then come back. So, like, for me, that just broke the emotional element to the world. Overall, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed seeing, one of my rules is I really like to vary my reading. 2024 was the year of, or was it 23? 23 or 24 was the year of BIPOC voices and so on. And I spent the year reading a lot of books recommended to me, with different voices and different themes within the books that really focused in on some hard-hitting things that I have never read about. And I enjoyed it. Again, this does this. You're following a historical fiction. Yes, there's magic in it. That's great. That's not the reason I read it. My friend Sammy, this is her book. I gotta get it back to her. But she's the one who said, hey, I think you should read Babel. So I read it. And I enjoyed it. Would I read it again? No. I think once was enough for my poor brain to handle a dissertation style book. I do recommend reading it though. I think it's a great way of looking at historical fiction because I like historical fiction. I really enjoy reading that stuff. I have Eric Larson, I think is his name. I could be wrong. Um, who wrote Devil in the White City. I have a few more of his on my reading list that I want to read because he writes historical fiction. For those that don't know, Devil in the White City is about H. Holmes and his murder palace during the World's Fair. But getting back to what I was saying, historical fiction is just enjoyable. And I really like that this is taking a place that is magical in its own right of existence. Oxford is beautiful. I've seen so many videos of the place and I love it. Like I cannot wait for the day that I get to go and visit it. It's going to be so much fun and see it in person. And this kind of brought it to life. And I got to see it through a historical glance, but also got to see it through a fictional glance of Robin's life going through this and how he felt everything should be. And not just how everything should be, but that, education should allow us to, there should be ways to improve upon yourself and, raise yourself up and everything, and finding out that, that's not always the case and kind of finding out the hard way. But 10 out of 10 would recommend reading it. For me, it's not a reread, so I will not be purchasing my own copy of this to have. I will be getting this back to my friend Sammy. And yeah, but 4 stars for sure. Enjoyed the story premise. It's just the 1 star was taken off for the dissertation reading style. That was it. So I hope you'll give Babel a chance. If you have read it, let me know what you thought in the comments because I would actually like to have a discussion on this one. I think it was great, and I just like to hear other voices on what you thought of the book from the analytical point of view, not just from the did you like it, but like the premise of the story. Like, I really love that it kind of dealt with touching on the caste system when Robin goes to his home country. It was beautiful to see that, but also beautiful to see um, how the different layers work of who's there at Oxford because someone else is basically they're getting a patronage, whereas some people are there because their parents can afford it. And seeing the way the difference of treatment is between people, it really called that out. And I very much appreciated seeing that in this book because it also made me retrospect internally on my own biases. Again, I am always growing. I think we should always be growing and we should all be reflecting on our own bias. And it made me reflect on that and be like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm like not having these kinds of microaggressions. I need to be like working on those things still. So we always love a book that will make us call ourselves out. So 10 out of 10 recommend you read Babel. For me, it's not a reread. It won't ever be a reread. I will not be buying this book myself and adding it to my collection, but 10 out of 10, I do think everyone needs to read it. So, with that, I will see you guys in the next review. Until our next cup of tea.